Everyone, and welcome to Apple Exchange at TRX, and welcome to Tips with Today at Apple. If you're returning, I wish you welcome back. But if this is your first time joining Today at Apple session, selamat datang, I wish to you. My name is Fox, and I'm a critic here at this show. Well, if you're ever wondering what exactly is Today at Apple, what is going on over here at this big video wall that we have right in front of you, allow me to briefly share with you on the program that we have right now. Now, when it comes to the Apple program over here, it actually runs globally, so it doesn't only exist in Apple the Exchange TRX. In case if you are traveling to any countries that have Apple Store, but you are not sure which one you should get, you can always join one of our sessions, and you should look for a name called a Get Started session instead. Now, when it comes to Get Started, you will see Get Started Apple Watch, Get Started iPhone, iPad, and also MacBook. But if you would like to also explore back of your iPhone, right? Maybe what's the latest update when it comes to iOS 26? I'll share with you as well some of the customizable features or application when it comes to the latest software over here. And I'll share with you what's the latest update when it comes to my mind actually is the transparency of the liquid goods of the software. So if you want to actually have a better look, I'll show it to you from Safari. Let me just go to view strip. So when you go to Safari, at the bottom part over here, this is where your search bar normally located. But one thing that you wouldn't realize is the background of your website. So let's say, for example, maybe I'm reading on this particular part. So what you will see next is that the search bar now has been minimized just a little bit so that you can focus more on the content, and you will still know what is going on behind here so that you won't lose the momentum from your end. Same thing as well flows through our Apple Music.
Sorry.
So at the bottom part, we'll be able to actually check out the menus, and you will still know what is going on or what is it sitting at the back of this menu bar as well. Now, aside of that, what I want to share with you next is more on customizable features. And my most favorite will be clock. If your alarms actually look something like this, then we are actually rolling the same way. So what happened to me is that whenever I need to wake up at maybe 6 a.m., I need to start setting an alarm starting from 5. So I'll go with 5, 5:05, 5:10, 5:15. That's my day. Are we rolling the same way here? Okay. The reason sharp 9 minutes. There is actually a history behind that 9-minute set. But for me, I prefer rounded numbers. The reason is because at the back of my head thinking that, hey, still got another 1 minute to sleep, right? And from there on, I have a lot of alarms over here, and all I need to do every day is to change the timing based on what time I need to wake up. But then, for my screen right now, oh wow, this is actually really a lot. Yeah, so this is basically it is, in case if you didn't actually explore on how you can customize the snooze time. Let me show you how you can do that. So I'll go ahead and tap on the plus icon at the top right. And from here, let's say for example, over here will be grayed out. So what you need to do next is to enable this, make sure it turns into green. So once it turns into green, you will be able to actually see tap on it. And And you will be able to actually explore different snooze duration. The most minimum for you is 1 minute, and the most maximum is on your situation. If let's say you are catching flights very, very soon, right? You can just go with 5 minutes snooze duration, like this. Or if you just got back from your trip and you are recovering from jet lag, go with the most maximum snooze duration, which is 15 minutes instead. So once you're happy with this, go on and tap on the check mark at the top right, and you can start to remove all of these alarms already. And if you haven't noticed already, the snooze button and also stop button at the bottom now has been bigger than ever. Because I still remember with the 26, all you need to do is just drag it down instead, and the time actually can cover at least half of your screen like this. Very much depends on your aesthetic as well and how you would like to customize your own wallpaper. Now, aside of that, you will also notice that widget now is sitting at the bottom instead of at the top. So the intention is for you to actually reach out to your widget even better when you put it at the bottom over here. So let's say, for example, I add a few widgets over here. I do have the option to drag it up like this, or I can go ahead and drag it down so it's easier for my thumb to reach as well. Now, if you always update your wallpaper, you will notice that there is a new icon sitting on the right hand side over here. This is what we call as spatial scene. Now, spatial scene actually allow you to have a 3D look of your wallpaper, and it is a Vision OS is actually a software that exists in our Apple Vision Pro, but since it is not yet available in Malaysia, this is the closest that you get to actually experience just a tiny hint of Apple Vision Pro. So all we need to do right now is just tap on it, and then it will start to generate spatial scene like this. So whenever you move your device, you will be able to actually experience a 3D look of your wallpaper at the top right, and set it as wallpaper pair. Alright. So now we have already covered a few. I've shared with you on what's new on Clock app. I've shared with you as well on how you can experience a 3D look of spatial scene of your own wallpaper. But what I want to share with you next is on Photos app. Now, Photos app is the application that we normally go for whenever we take a photo or maybe take a videos, right? But then, if your device is still running iOS 18, you won't be able to see this layout. So, back in the days, the magnifying icon, and now with the latest iOS 26, it gives you a category so that you can actually look for your photos even faster and also organize your Photos app even better. Now, if you are in library, your application, all you need to do is just start to swipe down and you will be able to see years, months, and all. Another way for you to look for it faster is to try to pinch in instead, like this, and you will be able to look for that specific photo. It's actually amazing for me. I really love using collection because it helps me to look for that specific type of media. Top part, I have memories followed with albums, and then we have people and pets. All of this can be rearranged. All you need to do is tap on the three dots. Now, on my personal device, what I normally have is media type to be at the very top, and then I have utilities to be on the second. I'll share with you why. But in case if you want to change the location, so, and then you can go ahead and tap on like this for you. Now let me share with you as well why I prefer to have utilities and also media types at the very top. Now, you are looking for maybe portrait photos that you have captured before. We have portrait right over here. Instead of looking in library, you have to actually open one photo one by one in order for you to actually know what type of media is that. It could be live photo, it could be panorama, it could be just a normal video that you have taken. But when it comes to media type over here, everything has been reorganized for you, so you will be able to actually locate it even better. Aside of that, If let's say, for example, you have maybe screenshots, or perhaps you have saved a lot of QR code before, or maybe you're the type of person who always capture receipts after you purchase something, you will be able to find under utilities we have category for receipts, screenshots, QR codes. But it is not here because those actually is not in my Photos app right now. But on your own personal device, you can check on this issued as this software. Alright? And aside of that, this is just a pro tip for you. Let me just... Okay. So in case if you actually would like to know more details about your photos over here, what you can do is to also tap on the photo that you want to check and swipe up. So from here you'll be able to see the date and time at the top, and then you can also check on the type of iPhone that has been used to capture this moment. So say for example, maybe you have been an avid iPhone user and perhaps you have a lot of photos already and you open photos from maybe 7 years ago. So from there you may be able to actually check, perhaps you are using iPhone 6 at a time or iPhone 7. So from there, more details will be up over here as well for you. And then in case if, now, at the bottom part of my screenshot right now, I share with you as well the location. Now when it comes to the location over here, it will only appear if you turn on location in camera under your setting app. Alright? So this actually will help you to locate this photo even better as well. The reason is because if let's say for example bottom right, and I type over here maybe New York, I will be able to actually, alright? Now we have already explored on the iOS 26. I've shared with you on what's new on iOS 26. You have learned by now on how you can organize your Photos app even device, which is iPhone 17, iPhone Air, and iPhone 17 Pro, which all of them comes with its unique colors, features, and also benefits as well. Now, when it comes to the latest iPhone, again, there's always a new features, and one of it, I would say, the most that stands out is actually center stage camera. So if you remember back in the day, I always have to reach out to maybe one of my friends to actually set up or place my camera somewhere first, and I would need to control it from my Apple Watch instead. But then with center stage camera, you don't need to go through that anymore. Let me just demonstrate to you how you can do this even better. So I'm on my camera. So over here at the top part, tap on the yellow human icon over there. You gotta make sure that auto zoom and auto rotate both are turned on over here. So if let's say for example, maybe you want to maybe capture your own photos over here, it doesn't do anything. But let me just look for my team members so I can demonstrate this a bit better. Can I take a selfie with you? Thank you, Zakwan. Alright, so I have a selfie with Zakwan over here, and what you will notice on my screen is that you will be able to actually see more space at the back of us because it actually allows you to include more people over here. So with this, you don't need to actually get one of your friends to maybe take a photo for you. The other feature that you get to explore is also by tapping on the icon at the bottom. There's also a human icon over here. So these will actually imitate your rotating iPhone. So you know back in the days, right? If you notice as well, whenever you want to actually get everyone to be included in the screen, instead of taking photo like this, you will rotate it like this, right? So if you were to tap on this icon instead, the screen will rotate for you. You don't need to physically rotate it like this, because sometimes it could be very difficult for you to actually capture the moment whenever you rotate like this, and it's not actually very friendly on your wrist as well. So this is one of the features that you get to explore. This is again what we call as center stage camera, and it says on the latest iPhone. You can also try it on with our demo devices on the table on my left hand side as well. Now, aside of that, one of the latest feature apart from center stage is also dual capture. Now, dual capture is actually exists in video, so I'll go ahead and tap on video first, and from here I tap on the 6 dot at the top right and tap on dual capture. But what does it do? If you remember, whenever you watch videos on social media, they show to you the view in front of them, right? Whenever they visit new country, they will show you the view, and then you will also be able to actually see the facial expression as well. So this is actually part of the feature that you get to explore when it comes to the later. Show you how you can do that today.
Try respond.
17 and above right now. All you need to do is to go to camera and tap on video and tap again on the 6 dot at the top right, where you will be able to actually see the option says dual capture. Like this, I go to video, tap on the 6 dot, mini screen at the top right, where I will be able to actually move this around according to my preference. And once I start recording like this, you can still move the screen around as well if you prefer to. And then you can go ahead and stop it. So if I were to play it, you will also be able to actually follow the movement that you have created as well. Now, this kind of feature is actually excellent in case if you are someone who's always in charge with maybe taking photo and video during special occasion with your family and friends. And perhaps you are someone who really loves. When it comes to 17 Pro and Pro Max, there is always something extra when it comes to the lenses. Now, if you notice on iPhone 17 Pro level, you will be able to get up to 8 times telephoto like this, right? So when it comes to this, when it comes to extra lenses like this, I always imagine it as when I'm in a stadium. So I will use 0.5 if, let's say, I want to capture at least half of the stadium, 1 times or 2 times, maybe if you want to capture the stage, and 4 times and 8 times is in case for you to actually zoom into the artist instead. Now, this is something that you get to explore with one of our workshop as well that is available. The workshop is also available in case if you want to check on the day and date. It is available in our website www.apple.com/due-date. Now, we have explored and learned a lot of things over here when it comes to the latest iPhones, when it comes to the software. But what I want to share with you next is actually more on how you can edit your best moments. Let me share with you first of all on the agenda first. Now, comes all the exposure. We will also move on with live photo, key photo, and last but not least, if we have a little extra time, I will share with you on what or how you can do it with cinematic mode video. How you can do the edit and how you can adjust on focus and exposure when it comes to cinematic mode. If I have that to remember. Thank you, Milena. Alright, so I have Mel over here on the screen. And this is literally portrait photo. The reason is because you will be able to see her background was nicely blurred over here. But when it comes to taking photos with your iPhone, you do have an option to actually do the edit even before or after you take the shot when it comes to lighting that we discussed earlier as well. All you need to do next is to actually tap on edit. Now, a pro tip for you, in case if you want to do the editing in the future, I always advise you to go and tap on portrait, because currently I'm on portrait photo. Sure that you tap here first so that you will be able to see options. F icon over there. So F icon actually represents the aperture of this photo. It allows you to adjust on the background blur and add the depth effect over here, and also the focus. So there is a yellow square box over here where you can actually tap anywhere in case if you want to adjust on the focus. So if I tap on the background, Mel's face will be blurred out, but if I were to tap back over here, her face will be the main focus. And then there is also a slider at the bottom part over here where you can actually control on the background blur. So if let's say I slide all the way to the left, I turn off the depth effect, which means that this photo has no different with the normal photo that we usually take because there's no background. As well, to go with the most maximum background blur like this. And if you are someone who fancy this, you can go ahead. But then there is also a suggested background blur at the bottom that is sitting as specific photo the most. If in the future you are traveling, or maybe you take a photo and you have a really nice background, perhaps you go and visit a garden full with flowers, or maybe you have a really nice architect to just give a little hint of the background, and you will still want to showcase the background in your photos as well. So you can always play around with this feature, and it is adjustable, and you can always revert back to the original in the future. Now, aside of that, let's say I'm happy with this. I'll go with the suggested background blur. I tap on the hex. I can go with studio light like this. I could also go with control light, stage light mono, and high key light mono. Very much depends on you. If you are exploring more on your creative side, you can go with stage light and above. But for me, I always go with control light over here to control. And aside from that, I'll go ahead and tap on start and above. You'll be able to see an option says styles, or we call it as photographic style. Now on the former iPhone, you will know this as filter. But one thing that I really like when it comes to photographic style is that whenever you actually do the edit, or maybe you increase the intensity of the color, it actually does left and right in case if I want to adjust on brightness and also the opacity of this color. Alright, so say I want to stop it right over here. I can go ahead and tap on done, or I can continue and tap on adjust at the bottom, where there will be actually around 16 options or controls for you to do any adjustment over here. You can always play around with the edits as well, if with my friends and family as well. But let me just share with you something as well. Okay, now at the top right, you will be able to actually see there's a hexagon icon over there where you can tap on it. That is spatial scene. I've talked about spatial scene earlier on the what's new on iOS tips as well. So if you were to tap on it, what does it do for you is that it will start to generate the spatial scene, and you can actually experience a 3D look of this specific photo like so. Alright? Now, we have already taken a look on the portrait photo. What I want to share with you next is more on live photo, and live photo is actually one of my favorite. Now, what is live photo? So live photo actually capture you 1.5 seconds before and after you take the shot. So which means that it gives you a mini clip of 3 seconds. And if you want to check if your device has live photo turned on or not, you can go to your camera, Under photo, tap on the 6 dot at the top right, like this, and you can control live from here. So let's say, for example, if you see A, it means that it's under photo, and if you see it in yellow, it means that it's always turned on. So if, let's say, for example, you want to look for a specific live photo, you can always go to collection. Under media type, you will be able to actually see live photo over here. But let me look for my team members who can demonstrate to me live photo over here. It is, thank you. Thank you, Rafiq. Alright, so I managed to capture Rafiq's photos over here. So if I want to play live photo, what I can do over here is just tap and hold, and you will start to see a mini clip of Rafiq. So this is actually something that I really admire when it comes to live photo, because this actually has helped me to relive some moments with my family and friends as well. Whenever I try to actually look back into my iPod's photo, I get to actually see a lot of mini clips like this, and I could still hear their voices as well. Now, if I, let's say, want to edit this. By the way, whenever you take live photo, you can also use portrait mode as well. So that's why you see portrait and live. But I'm focusing on live photo right now. So we go ahead and tap on live. And then you will be able to see a white frame on my screen where it says, or actually a reminder for you like, hey, you have made an adjustment over here already in case if you want to revisit this part. Once you're happy with this, you can go ahead and tap on done at the top part. But then if you notice as well on the top left of my photos right now, I like to mute these photos. So let's say I want to go ahead and mute this. I can tap on it and tap on done. Now, aside from that, let me show to you something interesting as well when it comes to live photo. Okay. Now, on the top left of your live photo, if you were to tap on it, you will be able to see all of these options. Now you see live, which is the one that we reviewed earlier. There is also loop, bounce, long exposure, live off. Tap on live off if you would prefer to actually have a still photo. And you can also explore on loop, bounce, and long exposure as well. Let me show to you how it looks like from here. This is loop. So what does loop do? It actually allows the subject to move from point A to point B. But this is actually bounce. So I think you will be more familiar when it comes to bounce because it reminds you of to move from point A to point B back to point. So this is actually some of the features that you get to explore as well when it comes to live photo from your iPhone. Alright, now subject. Now if you want to actually to your camera, edit. Now, once I tap on edit, I'll be able to see the frame like this. But what happens next? On my screen, I can see there is yellow box and also white box. Now, when it comes to cinematic video, it actually captures people, pets, and objects. So which means that if I were to record this story using cinematic mode, I will be able to have a lot more white boxes instead. Alright, so when it comes to yellow, I don't want the focus to be at the subject number 1. I can go ahead and tap on subject number 2 or wherever the white boxes located at. Now, aside from that, you'll be able to see there is an adjustment made in the frame as well. And I'll move on just a little bit as well. So you can always repeat this, and all you need to do is tap on the white box for you to shift the focus. So with this, if I were to play this video, it will literally follow the focus based on the adjustment that I have made earlier as well. But aside of that, since this is actually cinematic mode, at the top left, you'll be able to see the F icon where you can actually control on the depth effect that we family. Now, we have come to almost the end of the session over here, but let me just share to you